Welcome to Money Chat Today with your hosts Larry Steinhouse and Rick Lee. From the School of Hard Knocks, they present with years of knowledge on how to help you make more money and how to keep it.
Hi, I'm Larry Steinhouse.
And I'm Rick Lee.
Welcome to Money Chat Today. This is a show where we help people make more money and help them keep it. So today we have a special guest. We have Harris Glasser as our special guest. And tell you a little bit about Harris. At the age of 28, he was seeking a balance of material life with that of spiritual life to service others. After a successful run in the construction business, Harris turned his attention to a wide variety of businesses and spiritual endeavors. His intention was to allow himself to spend time both working and playing together with his family. Harris started an indoor farming business and distributed alfalfa sprouts in New York. Using his business sense, within 2 weeks, Harris had captured almost every health food store in the metropolitan area. He was actually growing and distributing a half-ton of alfalfa sprouts per week. Receiving a great offer, Harris then sold the business 6 months later and moved to Florida, where he replicated it. After selling that business, he moved back to New York. Harris and his family then opened a car rental agency. Drawing on his past business experiences, they quickly grew the company from 4 vehicles to a 78 car and van fleet of new vehicles. After a successful run of 7 years, they then sold that business and spent a year in India studying meditation. After returning from India, Harris went back to construction contracting with his 2 sons at his side. Today, Harris Glasser is also the owner and founder of a publishing company called Serving the People Press, LLC. Interestingly enough, the intention of this publishing company is to help people empower themselves financially and in other areas of their lives. He has written and published the first in a series of books called It's My Money and I Want It, and he is here to discuss this wonderful book. Welcome, Harris.
Welcome.
How are you?
Pleasure to be here.
Glad to have you.
Rick, nice to be here.
Thank you.
Nice having you. So tell us a little bit about why you wrote this book.
Well, what happened was I had a health insurance policy.
Okay.
And they had made certain promises to me on a certain medical situation, surgery my wife was to have, and they lied.
Wow.
They didn't keep their promise, and I'm not one to do that. You give your word, you keep it. Letters, emails, everything, COs, like I didn't, it ignored me.
Huh.
So basically I said, you know something, guys? This stops now. Because my whole life, I'm 67, since I'm 20, I've known in business how you deal with the so-called big shots. Okay? And so I went ahead and applied my process to them, and it worked out. My son said, hey, Dad, you got to open a business helping people to collect from denied health insurance claims.
Sure.
Right? And I said, I don't want to charge people to help them. So he said, write a book. I said, gee, but it's so simple. I just 1, 2, 3 little simple steps, 3 little instructions, nothing to write a book about. He said, you know how to do so many things. Tell people, put it in there. So there we go, guys. The book, It's My Money and I Want It.
I love the title. I think it's awesome. And it's funny because kind of, you talk a little bit about in your book, you talk a little bit about collection agencies, and I find it funny that your title kind of goes both sides. It says you say it's your money and you want it, and they say it's their money and you want it. So I love the title. I love the way the book just flows. It's awesome.
Yeah, well, the idea is to stop letting these corporate bullies beat you up and take your money. It's my money, and I want it, and I want to keep it.
You want to keep it, sure.
Exactly. Sure. Now, the interesting thing is, if we want to talk about the health insurance companies, you guys have car insurance?
Sure.
We do, sure.
Right? You have an accident, you have a stolen car, the insurance company, do they come in and go, we're not going to fix your car, we're not going to pay you for the stolen car? No.
Apparently not, no.
Right?
Sure.
They fix your car for you.
Right.
You have home insurance, right? God forbid you have a fire. They don't go, oh, tough luck, No, they pay you. So every insurance company, you have a piece of jewelry, it gets lost, they pay you.
Right.
But there's one insurance people who do not pay us. They're health insurance companies. So the thing is, are they insurance companies? Or are they, to me, they're a bunch of guys and girls that get together and go, let's do a thing, we'll call ourselves health insurance. But you see, we're not really going to insure, we're really going to try and pay as little as possible on these things. And they do that. There are 500,000 claims a day denied.
Wow.
Denied.
Denied.
Wow.
And it was interesting. There was a picture. I didn't see the picture. The second one is Wall Street. And from what I was told, that in the picture, there's someone interviewing the CEO of Goldman Sachs. And he says to the CEO, everybody has a number. That's the number they want, and then they're cool, right? He says to the CEO, what's your number? And the CEO says, more. Now, I gave a lecture at CW Post, LIU University, on having to do with the book and having to do with, they wanted me to lecture on corporate social responsibility. I'm going to tie this together for you guys. So the first thing I did in the auditorium was I crossed out the word responsibility and marked it corporate social irresponsibility. The second thing was I crossed out the word corporate because I said corporate, you know, Aetna Insurance Company Incorporated, United Healthcare. I said these are sets of words that are filed in the state for the name of the corporation. But it's not a corporate responsibility. It's the people who are being, I don't care if it's your Haagen-Dazs down the road and the owner there messing with everyone, giving them less of a portion, or it's the owner of the CEOs of the health insurance companies looking for reasons, and they have whole departments set up. I don't know if you know that. Entire departments set up just so if you have like an expensive claim, it's going to cost them a lot of money, their sole thing is to go back in time to when you filed your original application, it could have been 20, 30 years ago, and find a reason to deny your current claim.
Wow.
That's insane to me. And so when we talk about the Goldman Sachs, and he says his thing is more, I said to the people in the audience, you know what that word more translates into? I said, we're all sitting here now, we all have phones, iPods, whatever.
Sure.
And any one of us at this moment, God forbid, while we're listening to Harris talk, we can get a message from our mom, our dad, sister, brother. Mom's operation, you know, we don't have money to pay for it. It's life or death, and the health insurance company denied it for some nonsense reason for 20, 30 years ago. And we don't have the monies or anything to fight it. So this term more translates into you're going down. You need an operation? Sorry, I need more. And that's what's going on with the health insurance companies, and that's what this corporate greed or irresponsibility is at. It's not corporate greed, it's individual greed. And so, now there was a thing, United Healthcare, it's in the book, the CEO before this last one made, they didn't have two since then, actually got, guys, a retirement package besides many millions.
Sure.
You ready for this? Got a stock option, part of his retirement, of $1 billion.
Wow. He certainly didn't get his health insurance decline, did he?
No. $1 billion. Now, where is that money coming from? That's coming from, deny. Or
these guys get bonused on that too. The people who are in the claims, they get bonused on how few claims they can pay.
Yeah, there's an actual rewards
program
for denying. Sure. You get your brownie points and you get rewards.
So there's a great story you talk about in your book that I really like, which was the story of your son, and they asked him to stay a night. Can you tell that story? I thought that was great.
Yeah, this is when you don't have health insurance.
Right. And at the time you didn't have health insurance,
that's
correct?
Correct.
Okay, right.
I did not, and I had to give a $1,000 deposit.
Right.
You're supposed to be ambulatory in outpatient. This was
so it's supposed to be 1 day surgery.
Right.
Okay.
And he goes in, right, and they keep him overnight. And the next thing I know is I get a bill.
Now, if I recall in the book, though, to keep him overnight, they were not supposed to take him overnight, but they said they had an extra room.
We'll go into it.
Okay, good. I'm sorry.
Oh yeah, no, we're not going to miss this one. We're not going to miss one. So I get a bill, a week or so later. It says paid on account 1,000, balance 1,500.
Sure.
So I call up the hospice for the billing department. I said it says balance 1,500. I said, what's that? They said, well, that's your balance. I said, I can really read that. It says balance 1,500. What is it? What does that mean? Okay. So they said, well, we need to put the head of the billing department on. This is a very huge hospital in Manhattan. And he said, hi, this is Mr. So-and-so. I'm head of the billing department for the hospital. And what is it? I said, it says balance 1,500. I don't know what that means. It says it means it's your balance. I said, no, I can read that. I want to break down what that means. And it's funny, afterwards when I was telling my attorney this story, he was hysterical. He said, you asked him for a cost breakdown, like a contractor that I've been through my life, you want a cost breakdown. He loved it. So the first thing he said was, you know, I'm not used to our bills being questioned here at the hospital.
That's hysterical. Wow.
I said, you know, you really need to get used to it because I have like a lot of questions, and being I have to write the check, you're going to answer them.
Right.
Then he said, well, why don't you just pass it on to your health insurance company? That really ticked me off. I said, whoa, that's part of the reason premiums are on the moon. Because people get a bill and they don't even care. They just pass it on to the health insurance company and they just pay it. I said, no. Besides, it's none of your business whether they have health insurance or not. I don't know how you didn't know it from, you know, the paperwork. Anyway, so I said, okay. He said, okay, first thing's anesthesiology. I said, well, I paid him separate, actually. He said, he hesitates, well, this is for the time he was under our care and for the drug.
Wow.
So I said, tell you what, you billed me for the operating room, you billed me for the recovery room, you billed me for his room. He was under your care all the time. Is this for the time he was under your care in the corridor as you were moving him? I said, what are you talking about? So I said, and I want to know the name of the drug, how much the units you used, and cost per unit.
Right, absolutely.
And I said, I'll get back to you. And I sent him a little letter thing with this conversation, so it's on record. This is what we discussed.
Right.
You know, a week later, he calls me up, Mr. Glassett, sorry, we found out there's an error. We didn't realize the anesthesiologist will cover. I said, thank you. He said, okay, so we're fine. I go, no, that's like one item. That's not the whole 1,500. What's next? And they'll do things like, well, this thing called an MRS. An MRS. Now, you know when you get bills from hospitals, has all these codes with $100, $300, $250, $50. I said, an MRS is $18. I said, it's not a lot, but it's part of the 1,500. What's an MRS? He said, Mr. Glasser, that's a mucus recovery system. I said, wow, sounds really important. What's a mucus recovery system? It's a, sheepishly, he said, it's a box of tissues. I said, $18? I said, I'm going to give you back the box of tissues. That's off the bill.
Yeah, right.
Okay, and then there's an AIS for $12.
Wow.
Okay, I said, okay, an AIS, what, may I ask, is an AIS for $12? It's not much, but it's $12, you know, what is it? He says, that's an anti-inflammatory system. Impressive, and what's that? He said, it's a bag of ice. I said, hey, hello, that's on you. Yeah. Or I'll bring you back a bag of ice. Okay.
Wow.
I said, next he comes up with the room. I said, the room. He was supposed to be ambulatory, inpatient, outpatient. I said, and speaking to the doctor, he didn't need a room. Thank God there's no complications. It wasn't necessary. Why the room? He said, well, you know, we had a room available, so we put him in there. I said, that is so sweet of you. That is really, really nice of you. Bing, that's on you. It's like ordering a car without air conditioning. You put in air conditioning? Sorry, I don't pay for that. By the time we got done, the original, the $1,500 was gone. And he's lucky he didn't have to give a refund from the $1,000 deposit. So, so you get bills from, if you don't have health insurance, just remember, a hospital is not the almighty. They're just, a business.
Right.
A business that's trying to earn a profit in any way that they can. That's all that they're doing. And it's you, if a contractor came in your house, right, and said, give me $1,000 down, meanwhile, I'll start to go to work, and he gives you a bill for the balance, would you hand them just a check, guys? Well, you go, whoa, what is this for?
I want to know what he did, sure.
Well, there's windows. How much are the windows? How many windows? There was the doors. Okay, and the flooring. How much flooring? Or how much? Why don't you do that with a hospital bill?
I'll be honest, I never thought to.
No one ever does. You bring your car in for repairs. He doesn't give you a bill $800. You want to know what is it for? So much for the brakes, the brake pads, this, that. Same thing with medical bills.
You know, I gotta ask you, should I ask for the parts back too, like they do in this?
Why not? Hey, you took out my kidney? I want to see your old kidney. How do I know you took out my kidney? me? How do I know you didn't put a used one in? How do you know you just didn't polish it and put it back?
Right. I want to see the warranty on it.
So the question is, and I say it in the book, don't trust them, don't believe them. They are just a business trying to rack up the bucks.